Hello everybody, welcome back to Memory Gamma. Today we're going to carry on and we're going to do one of the next smaller factions. We're going to move on to one of my personal favourite factions in the game and in the franchise as a whole, despite the fact they're only in one series of one storyline. The Xindi. So anyone who's a fan of Enterprise will know the Xindi. They are the entirety of the third series arc. If you haven't watched it, go and watch it. It's brilliant. It's a continuous arc all the way from the first episode to the last episode. Everything's in sequence. The ship takes damage as it goes through. It's a built-up storyline with interconnecting bits from episode to episode to episode. It's kind of like what I think we wanted to do originally with Voyager in Year of Hell. Have a whole series-long event happen with the ship slowly getting damaged as it goes along until it finally has the end game against Anoraks in Voyager's case, or the Xindi in Enterprise's case. So, because it's Enterprise, these are NX-era ships. That's important when I talk about the stat lines, because each one of the ships, it looks at it and you go, wow, that's really powerful, or that's really not very good. However, then you look at it in comparison with the other ships of that era. So you look at the NX Enterprise with its 2 attack dice and no shields, and compared to that, you know, the Xindi insectoid fighters or the reptilian warships look really powerful. Compare it to a TNG era ship, a Galaxy class, or Intrepid, even, you know, late stage Excelsiors, Vorchas, they look a bit weedy. So we're going to go through. This is not going to be a whole faction as one, because there is 4 different ship classes and 7 different named ships. So this is enough that there's going to be several different videos with the Xindi. This is going to be just a Xindi build. Now, this is going to be a bit of a shorter video because Xindi are one of the things that I play quite a lot, and there is a couple of combinations that work really, really nicely. I am going to show you 2 combinations. They're not going to be full built out, but they're going to show you 2 different things. So, the first thing we've got is we have Weapon Zero. This is the absolute cream of the crop of the Xindi. It's also one of the rarest ships, if not the rarest ship, in the whole attack wing game. I am very, very lucky. I own 2 of them. But there are some people I know that have tried and cannot get hold of one for love nor money. Now, you look at it and the stat line doesn't look brilliant. 6 attack dice, nice. No evade, no shields, and 8 hull. Doesn't sound like brilliant. However, 2 things to import. A, it gets battle stations, which is amazing. Sorry, 3 things I should say. The first is battle stations. Secondly, it's on a 2x2 base, same as a Borg tactical cube, rather than a 1x1 little square. It's on a 2x2 big square. So it's a huge model, which means its 90-degree forward firing arc is significantly wider than you would think. Lastly, its ability. When defending, during the roll defense dice step, you may roll 1 defense dice for every hit or crit result by the enemy. If you do so, have an Orcs power token. So they roll their attack dice, modify their attack dice, and go, right, I've got 8 damage total. You go, cool, take an Orcs power token, and you get 8 defense dice. This is a replacement value. So it replaces whatever your actual number of defense dice would be with that number. So it's a scary thing, and it really, really, really makes this thing hard to bring down with big shots. You kind of have to chip it to death, because if you put 1 or 2 points of damage onto it, they're taking an Orcs power token to roll 1 or 2 defense dice, and that's not going to do brilliantly. However, with 8 defense dice, that can be a bit more dangerous. Now, it has triple weapon, tech crew. Anyone that knows the Xindi will know they are very militaristic, warlike, I will say species. Obviously, Xindi are 6 subspecies inside the umbrella of Xindi. The weapon is the conglomeration of all of the 5 remaining species work together. So it boasts huge construction like the aquatic cruisers. It's quite maneuverable for something so huge. Like the insectoids, and it's just very, very aggressive in its offensiveness. Lots of weaponry, like the insectoids and like the reptilians. And it's built by intelligent people, i.e. the arboreals and the primates, since the other 3 have less ability to be subtle. So, Captains. There's many captains. However, on this particular ship, we're going to go with Kayafat Amansor. Now, Kayafat Amansor is an aquatic captain. Skill 5, 3 points, talent slot. When defending, reroll 1 blank result. If your ship's hull value is greater than the attacking ship's hull value, reroll all your blank results. Your hull value is 8 on this thing. That's scary, because it means that you're rolling 8 defense dice. Now, on a defense dice, there's 3 blanks, 2 battle stations, and 3 evades. So if you roll 8 dice, you're going to get on average 3 evades, 2 battle stations, and 3 blanks. So you get to reroll those blanks, which on average will give you another evade. And of course, if you've got a battle stations token, you can then up convert. So with that blank rerolls and a battle station token, you can realise about between 6 and 7 on average evades from an 8 dice roll. That makes the ship really hard to kill. And it's 8 hull. That's got more than everything apart from a Borg ship. That's bigger than the Scimitar. So, you know, it's just a brilliant way of getting some passive quality. Now, there is an Admiral slot. Unfortunately, there's only one Admiral, which is also Kayafat Amansor. She has 2 different versions, one of which is a double-sided Captain Admiral, one of them is not. So, we can't have an Admiral on this ship because we already have Kayafat. Again, no ambassadors. Probably could count as an ambassador if you were to use... I mean, Captain Jonathan Archer would be a good ambassador for the Xindi, but there's no ambassador cards. Construction, again, nothing. Elite talents. Now, there is an elite talent specifically for the Xindi weapon. However, as an action, you put 1 mission token on the card. Every round after that, to start the activation phase, you put another mission token on the card to a max of 3. However, your ship may not perform any actions and may not move faster than speed 1 while there are mission tokens on the card. And when you fire with the Xindi weapon unique weapon or primary weapon, you can discard the card and gain attack dice equal to the number of mission tokens for 8 points. Yeah, that sink in. 8 points for 3 turns of build-up for plus 3 attack dice, which is already not a brilliant trade. Then you remember that you are banned from acting for turn 2 and then the turn you fire. So it's 2 turns you're getting no actions and 2 turns where you have to move speed 1. Now, speed 1 does include the 1 reverse. Doesn't stop you doing that. That's the less speed 1 maneuver. Now, it may also the word is execute maneuver. So you can't even reveal a 1 and then upgrade it to a 3 with their Chemosite. You have to execute and perform only speed 1 maneuvers. Yeah, that's not brilliant. So we're not going to use the arming sequence. Even though it's unique to the weapon, we're not going to use it because it's just too expensive and not enough of a punch. However, Ibex Dynasty. Sorry, this adds 2 weapon upgrade slots to the upgrade bar, as if there's indeed any more weaponry. However, when defending, before the dice are rolled, you can discard the Ibex Dynasty and a weapon upgrade to cancel the attack. So it's attack cancellation, and of course you get tons of weapons. Now, we're going to look at weapons quickly. Because we have the Ibex Dynasty, we get bonus weapons, and we've already got 5 slots. We don't need to fill up all 5. We really don't. In fact, realistically, you need 2 weapons on this thing. Maybe 3. So the first one, there is a handful of different ones. There's some pulse firing park cannons, which are quite nice. Rotating emitters, which is the weapon. The rotating emitters are the Xindi weapon unique 360 firing. It's nice. It's 4 dice, range 1, but range 1 on a big base ship is wider than people might think. There's a few other ones that give you low attack dice that allow you to double attack. They're much better on a smaller ship, and we'll do a build with those in a minute. However, the other ones we're going to put on a particle beam weapon. Now this is a Xindi unique weapon that is absolutely amazing. Its attack value is equal to your primary weapon plus 1. So 7 here, range 1 to 3, and the cost is equal to primary weapon. So you pay 6 points, you get 7 dice, range 1 to 3. There's no disable, there's no time tokens, there's no target lock or battle station requirement to fire. Congratulations, what you've just done is upgraded your primary weapon to a permanent 7 dice at range 1 to 3, and remove the long range defense dice bonus the enemy gets. It's a no-brainer. It's something that I put on every single Xindi ship I bring, because almost every single ship has at least 2 weapon slots. Some of them only have 1, but then with Ibis you can add extra. So I put it on every single ship. It's just brilliant. We're going to throw on this set of Xindi torpedoes. They're not very good, but they're only 2 points, and they can be used to throw away with Ibex. The final one is Prototype Weapon. Now, this is a 5 dice weapon at range 1. That sounds terrible. However, you discard the card and your captain. Okay, not again brilliant. It means losing the captain. But you put a mission token anywhere inside range 1 of your primary firing arc. Then you draw a line up to range 2 in any direction from that mission token, and everybody in that line gets hit. So you pop a mission token out, and then it fires in a straight line in any direction you like. Now, that can be behind you, because your forward firing arc also extends right up until the point at which it meets at the peg of your base. So you could put it there on your base, or in the corner, and then fire directly behind you. So, yeah. It gives you basically 360 fire with 5 dice in a straight line. It's a nice potential, especially against a swarm fleet where you get to make multiple attacks in one round. We've got tech and weapon up, a tech and crew upgrade. For a tech upgrade, there is an upgrade here which I'm going to throw on. We're going to use a biometric hologram. Now, biometric hologram, it's when attacking, you discard to get 2 extra attack dice. If the attack hits, disable all crew upgrades on the defending ship. That's nice. Throw it on a prototype weapon, and you start off with 7 dice. The first ship takes up 7, and then the next one takes 6, and then like that. So it fires off. It just gives you a higher top point, or you can fire it with the prime weapon and go, here, have a particle beam weapon with 9 dice. And then a crew upgrade. Now, crew upgrades, there isn't an awful lot of good ones for the Xindi, and also you may notice the cheapest is 3 points. There's no cheap ones. However, we're going to throw on Degra as his crew upgrade. First of all, he saves us a few points. We've got 4 weapon upgrade cards on this ship, and he increases all of them by 1 point. So on this ship, he's free. He also gives you a one-time discard for a target lock at the start of the declare target step. So if you did action battle stations, you can then at the start of the declare target step discard Degra and get a free target lock as well. So he's a one-time discard for some bonus quality. And also said makes everything a bit cheaper. So that's weapon 0. That's a 60-point weapon 0. Now, if you want to talk about weapon 0, I will refer you to our Discord server and a man named Jeff, who is an absolute master at using weapon 0 to its fullest and most terrifying effect in combination with a Klingon card, Maltz. I will be doing an entire episode on Maltz and everything that he can do at some point in the future. So, that's weapon 0. It's an absolute beast. And that's, what you can do with it. There is more you can do with it. There is less that you can do with it. It's very, very powerful. It is 30 points. It gets battle stations. Something to point out that the generic ship is 2 points cheaper and loses battle stations. It doesn't change its stat line, but it loses battle stations and a weapon upgrade, and therefore it goes down by 2 points. Not massively worth running. However, running through weapons is a hilarious thing you can do. You put down 1, 2, 3, and then you run them forwards. I have done that. It didn't work very well, but it was fun. So, that's our Xindi ship. We're going to bring that up again, and we're going to bring up the Xindi one more time, and we're going to do the opposite side. This ship we're going to make is actually one that I use in most events. So, we use the Orasin. When attacking, you can spend your battle stations token, convert a hit to a crit. So that's if you've done really, really well on the attack roll, you don't need to convert the battle stations. You can spend it to upgrade a hit to a crit. That's nice. We're going to bring Captain Degra. Only 4 skill for 3 points. However, when attacking with weapon upgrade cards, gain an attack dice. Or +2 if it's a Xindi weapon. And I'm pretty sure you can see where this is going. And you'd be wrong. This is one ship where I don't use particle beam weapon. I use pulse firing particle cannon. It's a 3 dice attack at range 1 to 3. Disable it, you make your 3 dice attack, which becomes 5 thanks to Degra. If it hits, you can make an immediate second attack at the same target at -1 dice. And the enemy loses a defense dice. And since it's a weapon card still, Degra's ability affects both hits. So you're firing 5 dice and then 4 dice against that ship. And the second attack, they lose a defense dice. Biometric hologram. Because now your second attack, you'd start with 3, you'd gain 2 from Degra, gain 2 from biometric hologram to make you 7, -1 for the ability of the card is 6. It's already capped at the rule of 3 there, so you can make a 5 dice and then a 6 dice attack with a -1 defense on the second roll. Now, you can't go action scan. The Xindi insectoids do not get scanning. They are a pure offensive ship, so they've gone battle station, evade, target lock. But you don't really need it. That's just a nice, massive bonus for this ship. For tech upgrade, another tech upgrade, a nice one to bring if you want. You could do hatchery. It gives you an extra crew slot, and then when you use that, and then when a crew upgrade is discarded, you get to flip up the Xindi crew upgrade that's underneath hatchery. And there's one that you can use which you can discard and then immediately replace itself with itself. But we're going to go for Trellium D. It's a 4-point tech with 2 mission tokens, and the mission tokens you can spend as evade tokens, basically. Discard up to 2 of them to cancel 1 hit or crit during the compare results step. So they've gone, boom, you've rolled your defense dice, you can then basically spend those 2 for 2 extra evades. Now that there is a 36-point ship. You could put Kaya for Damansaur on here as the Admiral for the bonus skill. And as an action, you could get a bonus attack and defense dice for the round. Not a bad shout. You wouldn't get quality, but you get an extra attack dice, which means that your first attack would be 6 and then 6. With Hologram and Kayafat, your first attack would be 6, 2 from Degra, 1 from Kayafat, 3 plus 3 there is 6. And then the next one is 2 from Biometric, 2 from Degra, 4 plus the 2 dice you'd get because of the -1 to make 6 again. And then it gives you a talent as well. Now the talent, you could do Dominant Species. I like Dominant Species. When attacking, you can force the opponent to re-roll 2 of their defense dice. Meh. So it's a nice way of making sure your attack goes through. Or there's Thalen. Thalen adds a weapon upgrade slot. Thalen is actually a person. And I was never sure whether he was meant to be a crew upgrade and accidentally misprinted as a question mark, as a elite talent, or if he's actually meant to be an elite talent and he's meant to be some sort of elite bodyguard. But Thalen is a Xindi personnel. He adds a weapon upgrade to your upgrade bar. If it's a Xindi weapon, it costs -2, and you can disable him for a bonus dice up to a maximum of 6. But we don't really need bonus dice on here. We've got Kayafat and Degra. So we'll go for Dominant Species. And that's a 44-point ship that will do good work. It's by no means very survivable. 2 shields only, and +2 evade once for biometric hologram. It's going to probably die after a couple of shots, but it will probably get at least 1 shot off. And that shot, with its PFPC, is going to be a really nice smack. So, that's the Xindi ships. That's 2 of them done. There are multiple more. I said there's aquatic cruisers and the reptilian warships. Both of them have their own advantages and disadvantages. And I will go into them in a future video. If you do have any requests for a particular card or a particular ship, please put them down in the comments. Otherwise, thank you very much.